Hey YouTube, it's RJ, and I have a different kind of video today. It is about this binder right here, which is my lifeline for my career. I am a teacher, as I've mentioned in some of my previous videos, and I have gotten quite a few questions and comments about what I teach, how long I've been teaching, and how I got into my teaching career. So just really quickly, I am a 6th grade math and science teacher, which is a pretty unique position for my area and for middle school in general. So just to back up a little bit and how I got into teaching, it's something that I always wanted to pursue, and as I got into school and my interests changed, I did pursue a different bachelor's degree, and then I ended up applying to a very specific master's degree program for my education degree. So I do have my master's in elementary education, which qualifies me to teach kindergarten through 6th grade. And in my area, 6th grade is the first year of middle school, which is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in my area, and that is the first time that students have a different teacher for each subject. And I applied to a very specific master's degree program that would qualify me and educate me about multicultural education is my major interest. But there are about 1,000,001 ways to get into teaching. There's ways to do it if you already have a master's degree in something. There's ways to do it with just your bachelor's. There's all kinds of really, really terrible ways that have to do with not even getting a teaching degree, like Teach for America and such, so don't do those. But I do take teaching very, very seriously. It is a professional career. It's not just because I like to hang out with kiddos, but I am very invested in the education of the future generations, and so I'm very serious about what I do. If you have a lot of other questions about organization in your classroom and how to become a teacher, Teaching Sprinkle Magic, I think is her name, and she is just full of life and super fun and just talks all about the wonderful little pieces of teaching that we all want to hear about sometimes. So that's a great channel that I can refer you to if you have a lot of other questions about being certified and how all that works. And like I said, there's about 1,000,001 ways to do that. So with all that being said, I want to go ahead and show you this binder that I've created to fit my unique needs as a teacher. I looked everywhere on YouTube and on websites, on Etsy, everywhere for a planner for teachers, and I just didn't find anything that really fit my needs as an upper level teacher. So even if I just taught one subject, I didn't find anything that I liked, and I just created something to suit my needs. So I started with a binder, and as you can see, I did a cute little just regular printer paper, a color copy, and then again on the spine, and I just trimmed this down to size. And this is how I made all my binders that I have, but this is my planning binder, and it's my lifeline. I have no Photoshop skills. I didn't even have a Mac at the time when I made this. It is very user-friendly. I'd be happy to put any links down below to where I found the pages that I used, but this is a Lily Pulitzer print, and what I did is I screenshotted this and then took that image that I screenshotted and blew it up to be a full piece of paper size, and then I just clicked insert text box, and I think I did download a specific font, which was super easy to do, and then chose a color that I thought matched well. Then again, I screenshotted a piece of this and put it over here with my name and date on it again. So Miss Johnson is what I go by in my work environment, and I'll flip the camera around and show you what I use to create the meat of the binder. All right, so this is the front of my binder, which I showed you just a second ago, and it has my name on it and the date, and this is a Lily Pulitzer print. I believe I found it on Pinterest, and then I just took a screenshot of the image and blew it up to fit a whole piece of printer paper. I didn't do any fancy cardstock or anything. I just printed it off a regular color printer, and then again on the spine I again took a screenshot and then put my name and date so I can read it when it's put away on the shelf. And so that's the front of it, and I really love how the color matches the back of the binder that I got. I really like that I got a colorful binder. So then when I open it up inside, here are a couple of my favorite things. These double, like, I don't know what you call these, like stacked folders or you know, whatever pockets. I love that, so it keeps everything nice and organized. So in the front here, I have a bunch of my school data, which of course I flipped around. And then on the back here, I have several of my master copies for my pages of my planner, which I'll get to showing you in just a second, which I made each of these myself too. And then in the back here, I have something that came in a Dollar Tree item that I bought, and I just thought it really matched the colors of my binder. So it's this blue and green, like matches perfectly. And I thought about sticking it in there, but I really just didn't end up using it, but it's still back there. And so this is from the Dollar Tree. I really love that. So then on to what I've got in the front here. One great thing is that the clips of the binder, or the rings, are not on the spine, so that I can open it up and lay the pages flat to write on. Love that. So keep that in mind when you're buying a binder that you are going to use every single day. Then on the front here, this is a plastic pocket that I got from Dollar Tree, and I love this. So inside I keep a wet erase marker, so I can like write on this or another page that I have in the back. And then I have a couple pens, and then my lesson planning pencil that has a pretty jewel on the end of it. Love that. And then of course I didn't include an eraser because that jewel on the end of the pencil doesn't erase anything. But this is definitely something I would recommend if you're putting together your own binder or you're ordering something from Erin Condren. This pocket at the front to hold my pens and pencils is a lifesaver. That means I can write something down if I show up early to a meeting, or whenever I'm running out to a meeting. I don't have to worry about what pens to grab. It's all in here. I love it. So I think with Erin Condren you can buy a clear plastic sleeve or some sort of insert where it keeps a pen in it, and this is definitely something that has been a lifesaver. So I would definitely include that in your binder. This is my passwords page, which I shot this the first time and realized you could like see a phone number and such. So this is my passwords page, and let me just tell you, it is full, like all the way down to the bottom of the page, full. So I can't show you any of that, but this passwords page is a necessity. I probably have over 50 passwords to all kinds of educational sites, every different website that I need for my county, all kinds of things. New email addresses, all that. This passwords page is an essential. So at the top, I did design this page myself. So it has account, website, URL, and then and I also have like usernames I write there, and then password. And then this little thing I got off, I screenshotted it from somewhere, and I can include the links below of where I got that. And so that's kind of a common theme that you'll see throughout my binder, are these just like colorful things, which I liked because I knew no matter what I chose that those colors would match whatever kind of theme I went with. And then I don't have a cute binder clip, I just have this regular binder clip, but I will take that out in just a second so that you guys can see the inside of the pages. But these are my two notes pages. So this is just a regular notes page, and at the top you'll see it says notes again with those colorful arrows, and then this is that Lily Pulitzer print. And again, I just screenshotted that, put it on the top of the page. This is a screenshot, and then these lines, and then the little polka dots at the bottom with the matching colors. And I just think all those colors work really well together. So you'll see that reoccurring theme. And then on this side again, it's the same thing with the arrows, the Lily Pulitzer print, and then this, again, I took a screenshot. I think this was like an example of like a note card or a thank you card, and I blew it up to be a whole page. It has the and symbol, and it's grid paper, and you can see that it's just full and full of notes here. And so we'll skip these couple of detailed pages here with school information, but inside the planner, I have week of, and you can see this is from the beginning of the school, so week of, and I just write in the date there anytime, and that's not a problem. I just do it ahead of time. I look at the planner. So I like that it's not already dated, and I continued to make copies. So what's specific to me is, you can see at the beginning of the year I wrote where I put my math plans and where I put my science plans, because I was just getting used to this system and I didn't want to get mixed up. But this is like meetings and such before school started. So my math plans go up here, and at the top it says objective and then reflect, because that's something I'm still working on as a first year teacher, having a time for reflection or closure at the end of a lesson. So that's my plans for that. And then kind of as I'm getting used to planning, then after a spread of the full week, so it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I included a little bit of Saturday and a little bit of Sunday. We don't have school on those days, but I just thought, hey, why not? So then I open up to a new spread. Again, it's the notes with the lines, and then on this side it's got the and symbol with the grid paper. So here's again my lesson plans the next week. And we'll go to the beginning of a month so you all can see how that looks. You can see that I've used this a lot. So at the beginning of each month, there's just one page of notes and then a month page. And this is something I've seen a lot of people say, I don't really use this a lot. And I thought it might be great just to write like assessments when I'd give major assessments and when major assessments are due. But since I'm clipping it with a binder, actually this is usually clipped back and it only opens up to the week. So that was something that really just wasn't accessible to use. But I still like that I have it in there. And you can see that the colors match and it says 2013 right there. Again, this was a screenshot that I just stole from someone. Sorry about that. So, but yeah, I don't really use these. So here's now where I've actually kind of gotten used to using my lesson plans. So again, it says week up there, and that is that circle pink image is actually what's on the front of my binder. I took a screenshot of that little circle thing, and that's what's right there. And then this blue chevron pattern was screenshotted also. And so I've got my objective, my lessons. Sometimes I write my standards right there that I'm working with. And so it's the first I teach 2 sections of math, so this is where all my lesson plans go. And then 2 sections of science, and this is where all my science lesson plans go. And what I've learned is that if I can't fit my lessons into the box, like if it travels down here to the plan section, then the lesson won't fit in the time allotted for that class period. So that was kind of good to learn for myself. So that's kind of just how I use this. And then I've got my, again, just more and more lesson plans. And I don't know, it's working out really well. And you can see I use my notes, my note pages a lot. I really like that it's a spread, a week spread, and then a week of notes. And you can see I don't use my note pages every single time, but when I do need note pages, I love that I have them in there and it's right with the week that I need. I don't have to flip all the way to the back to look at my notes. So let me show you a blank page in the back of where I am. So that's where we just finished up. And then these are actually my master's copies because I make copies kind of as I go. Every couple, like half of the way through the year, I'll make some more copies. So week of, and then it's got my first subject that I teach, my second subject that I teach, and then for my plan period. Haha, for those of you who are already teaching that I was going to write down what I do in my plan period, just LOL right there, like ever having time to do anything on your plan period, forget that. So that's just what that looks like. And so my objective, and then my reflection time, and then again for my science lesson, my objective and my reflection time. So then this, I didn't realize I should have taken this paper out of here. That's school specific, but I keep this. Yeah, we can keep that. Okay, so this is a clear sleeve that I got at the Dollar Tree, and it's just like a hard plastic, like you can see how hard that is. And then I can just slip something in here, and what I actually have is an evaluation checklist, and I can use that wet erase marker at the front to write on this, write whatever I need, and then wipe it off. And I haven't used this so much except for at the beginning of the year when I had a lot of things to do. But then back here I've got a few tabs, and I'm kind of getting used to like things I need to keep in meetings. But since I am a first year teacher, I don't go to all the data meetings and like school projectory lesson plan meetings because I really don't have any input for those things. But I love this clear plastic sleeve, and this was just from the Dollar Tree. Then I have a lot of things for lesson planning. I do have a lesson planning binder, but I don't really use that. I just use this. So I'm trying to figure out what I would want to keep in here. Then back here are my pacing guides, which I don't really keep pacing guides back here, but I have like different schedules and such. And then again, this is just kind of like professional reading. So this is some information I've been like stalking this graduate school and like this professor and like things that I want to read. One last thing that I really love in this binder is this hole puncher, 3-ring hole punch from the Dollar Tree. It's just like a really basic one, so you can only fit like a couple pieces of paper in it, and you just snap it down like this. And then it hole punches the paper. But this is so great to keep in here because any papers I get, for example, school data or things handed out at meetings, I can hole punch it and put it right in my binder right away. So that was everything that I keep in my lesson plan binder for teaching, and it's how I organize my binder. If you have any other tips or suggestions for what you keep in your binder, let me know. I would love, love, love to hear that. Or if you have a video already on your channel about that, let me know because I love watching binder organization videos. And also, if you have any other questions about teaching or whatnot, put it in the down bar. I'd love to hear. And if you liked videos where you hear about my career as a teacher or just kind of what I do from day to day for organization and such, let me know. Bye, guys.